Welcome to Hangar 207. But today we're not in the hangar, we're in my garage, and this is not an airplane, this is a golf cart. My wife and I picked this up from a friend of ours, and he said it didn't have any power. So we got a good deal on it, and I monkeyed around with it quite a bit today, and it doesn't have power. When it's cold, it goes pretty normal, but once it warms up, it doesn't run good. So what we decided to do, we're going to pull the motor out of it, tear the motor down, see what's wrong with it, see if it's fixable, maybe replace the motor. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to do a series of videos on it. We're doing a video. We don't have fancy lighting, so it might work out, it might not, but we're going to give it a shot. So without further ado, let's get at it. All right, first off, I'm going to start hooking some fuel lines, fuel pump. This right here is the fuel pump. This is the line that runs the fuel pump. Gas comes out of here and into the engine. Let's see if we get this unhooked. Since it's vacuum, this was something we thought was maybe the reason it didn't work, so I put a different line. So I put the fuel pump was bad, it wasn't working at all. We thought maybe that was the problem. So I took a fuel pump off the mower, hooked into it. This line here was broken, so I put a new line in that. And as you can see, the gas was green, it's not mixed gas. This is aviation fuel because this is at an airport. Spent his whole life at an airport, and so that's why it's green gas, because it's aviation, or blue, or whatever color aviation fuel is. Now we got the gas unhooked. That bolt in there. I guess I gotta find a screw for that one. That's fine. Now we gotta start unhooking cables. So do I unhook this cable from here? Yeah, I gotta sit there and play with this and figure out how to unhook everything. This is just a wire inside there. I'll have to get me a wrench to loosen that up, pull that off. Well, that fought me the whole way. That didn't want to come out. That fought me the entire way. Wow. We have special audio sound for y'all. That cricket in the background. Zip around on the other side. Well, this cable here is just a jumper link. I didn't know that. Oh no, it's not. I'm sorry. That probably went something else, but okay, those are unhooked. We got this cable here that goes somewhere. I gotta look underneath, see if I can find out what that is. All right, we got there was two where you saw me unhook these three here. Plus there was another one which was the ground went back to the engine. This went to the coil. So it just unplugs. And then this one went underneath the motor and it plugged into a sensor on the side for the oil light, which is this here. Which is this oil light. That's why. I'll go back to here. And so this plug plugged into that. So now the wiring is completely unhooked. So all I had to unhook was the fuel lines. There's 3 of them. And then this ground cable, the throttle cable, and then these cables here. Now I got one more cable underneath, which is the shifter. It fastens the transmission. So this is the shifter. This cable here, it comes around, hooks at the bottom of the transmission. See here? It follows around here like this. Then goes back to the back of the transmission. I have to unhook that. And then down here underneath, if you can see it, let's get the light over here so we can shine on it and see it. This carriage here just bolts to the axle springs right there. Once I bolt that, this whole unit could fall right out. And that's how easy these are to get out. I mean, they're so simple, it's stupid. And I get that out of the way, don't come. Even the exhaust and everything's all fastened up to it. So in theory, when I knock those last bolts out, it should come right out. The cable I unhooked from the shifter. I just got to get a wrench and unhook that right there. That'll be easy to do, and that cable's undone. And then I got to come down and undo these 2 U-bolts. And down there, those 2 U-bolts there. Put a jack underneath it when I do that, and it should just drop right on down and out. We shall see. Well, let's set it down and see what happens. Let's just see. Let's just see what happens if I bring her down. Slowly. Oh, I didn't undo the brake cables. You know, we almost had a major catastrophe here. See, I got hook cables, like brake cables, on each side, which I almost screwed up. This is the video to show you what not to do. I unhooked the brake cables from the front. That's old man sound. It goes to that T-bar right there. Right there. These cables was in here and goes to there. Like that. I pulled the pins out and unhooked them because they're hooked to the frame there. And all that's going to come out at once with the unit when the motor comes out. So I did it that way. It's just a little easier, I think. We'll find out shortly. Evidently, that's not going to work. That didn't work right. Didn't come apart. So. Well, let's see if we got this right. I pound on this side and that side falls off. How the hell does that happen? That's more like it. All right, now let's see if this will fall out of there and go bang. Ready? She'll fall down and go boom. Just like that. It fell down, go boom. Drum roll, please. Well, let's see about taking it apart. I had to unhook the brake cable because that was the only thing actually holding on the axle to the chassis. But there's the engine. I just got to get it off the chassis. Alright, well, the axle came off easy because the U-bolts that hold the axle on is actually what held it on the cage too. So it wasn't bolted to this and then this bolted to the spring. It was all together. Now I'm just going to get the engine off and then hopefully it's an easy process. Well, can't do it with a dead battery. So now we have to go back to doing it the old-fashioned way, where we have to use a ratchet because my impact died. This would have been a lot easier with the impact. The old-fashioned way, when you run an impact, you get lazy. Now let's see. This don't lift on that like that. That could break, which I think I did. Imagine that. Well, looks like I gotta do a little bit more cussing to get this off. It's rubber grommets. And that sleeve, I have to replace them. Yep, see those? Yep. I know these are replaceable. You was wondering, that's one heavy engine. So this here is the frame. The axle, it pivots here as the axle goes up and down. Simple design. Brake cables, motor's got a plate, sets on that. Easy peasy. We're going to get it up on the bench, unhook that bottom plate, start taking the engine apart. Well, I took the head off, the shroud off, the carburetor and all that stuff off the engine, try to see if I can figure out why this engine was losing power. And the cylinder, there's no ridge here at all. And the valves, when you go underneath where the lifter and the springs are, it doesn't seem to have a gap there. So there's no lash. I think the valves were tight. That might be. The flywheel was kind of full of dirt. Maybe it was overheat. But we could put new rings in this motor, fix it up, freshen it up. But then we're done. We'll have a 7 horsepower engine. And there's all kinds of options you could do. They got a replacement engine for like $900 that will just bolt in here pretty much. Hardly any type of modifications. They have another engine like $600 where you have to do some modifications with the throttle linkage or maybe whatever minor stuff to get it to fit. But when you're done, you're going to have a 10 horsepower engine in a golf cart. Now 10 horsepower engines are fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Even ones with the lifts, there's tons of them running around all over the place with 10 horsepower. They get less than 10 horsepower, they get along just fine. But that's not for me. I'm not going to build this or replace this motor. I don't want a 10 horsepower motor in here. So what we're going to do is we are going to install this. This here is a Duramax 18 horse 4-stroke engine. This is going to fit in there real nicely. Of course, I would have some modifications I'm going to have to do, but there's a lot of options. There's a lot of things I can do to make this engine work. I've seen quite a few things on the internet about it. You just, you can do this. You just have to do your homework. So, now you know what we're doing. That's going to be it for this video. The next video is we're going to be doing the unboxing. And then discussing our options and what we're going to do. And how you could do something like this. Sorry about the video. We don't have fancy lighting. We don't have fancy camera. We're new in learning how to do the videos. But we're going to do it anyways, just for the fun. So, thank you for joining Hangar 207 in my garage with a golf cart instead of in the hangar with an airplane.